Benvenuti listeners and welcome back to the Anglo-Italian Connection Football Podcast. Once again, it's Tommaso Adami and you can find us on Instagram at Anglo-Italian Pod.
And as always, I'm Ruairi and You can find us on Twitter at Italian Anglo Pod. Tommy, we are finally in the same room together.
It feels weird if I
touch.
We're touching fingers, just like the ET. Yeah, this is incredible. I think since the end of October, this is the first episode we're having face to face.
So 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah.
My maths isn't great.
Yeah, the recording is probably going to take 1 hour. The mic setup and all the sound setup probably took 2 hours. We're still trying to figure that out. But Rory, how are you doing?
I'm good. All of a sudden, life is a little bit rosier. We're going to come on to why, I'm sure. But for some reason, my mood has been better the last 2 weeks, so that's good. It's good to be back in the same room, recording in the studio. And I think it's a good time as ever now to take a look back on the year with this pod. Right?
Exactly. I mean, we're at the end of one of the toughest years we've ever faced in our lifetime. That has, however, come with a lot of positives, right?
Exactly. I think the biggest positive for me this year from 2020 is starting this podcast with you and kind of seeing a little bit of progress. And for me, the best part of it so far has been, from a geeky point of view, it has been getting Liam on from Football Manager Memes. I really enjoyed that episode. I love being able to geek out and get into the minutiae of that game. That was a real highlight for me. And of course, get an excuse to talk to my friends about football is always great. Is there any moments that stuck out for you, Tommy, as like the best parts?
I mean, it's been just looking at the progress we've made. I think that's... I think every time we open that website where we have our stats and the number of downloads, that's the new highlight every day because I see that more and more people listen. We've got listeners in Brazil. We've never mentioned that. Yeah. So for a football podcast to have listeners in Brazil, I think that's pretty sweet. But no, besides that, I think the last episode, the Christmas special that we did.
That was a fun one. It was a fun one
because it was also all those Zoom rooms with plenty of people. It was with people that don't know each other. It really felt like a pub, kind of, yeah.
This is it, exactly. I loved, I think I said it to one of my mates afterwards, I loved that it was quite random collections of people all together from, different parts of our lives, and then they're all together in a room just able to talk about football anyway, and, I think everybody chose to stay on and watch the rest of the people talk and kind of get involved when we weren't recording. I think it was a really good vibe, and it's part of one of the main things that I love about football is that anybody from anywhere start a conversation and you'll have something to talk about for half an hour at least, right? And
absolutely.
That really showed up. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so this is our last episode for 2020 and it's going to be an occasion to give our long-awaited Anglo-Italian Pod Awards, correct?
Exactly. So step aside Ballon d'Or, step aside Football Writers Association Awards. This is what they're all looking for. It's the big one. It's the Anglo-Italian Pod first inaugural Anglo-Italian Pod Awards of the year.
Oh my God, Cristiano Ronaldo must be there. Oh my God, there is an opportunity for another trophy.
Yeah, he wants it. He wants it. He's not going to say no to it, is he?
So we're going to give awards for different categories. We're going to have best team, best player, best manager, best signing, best goal, but also funny stuff like the funniest moment, both in the Serie A and in the Premier League.
Exactly. So for both of these, we're going to be looking at Serie A, best team, best player, and then Premier League, best team, best player, and we'll be discussing it and deciding together. I'm looking forward to looking back at some of the stupider moments of 2020 in football as well. I think with 2020 being such an awful year, we need to take an opportunity to remember that some funny things did happen and some nice things did happen. And this is a good opportunity to do that, so why not?
Exactly, but before that, we're going to have a different version of our infamous quiz time lineup. So it's a time lineup once again, but only about 2020. Rory is going to test me first, and at the end of the show, I'm going to test him. Are your questions hard, Rory?
That's for you to find out. I think they're okay, but we've seen that in the past, my judgment isn't always
our judgments are not always the same. But so the first part of our show is going to be Rory's quiz. Then we're just going to jump to last night's roundup. There were quite a few interesting games, and then our awards, and finally the second part of the quiz. Rory, are you ready?
I am definitely ready.
Let's go.
And welcome to part one of Timeline Up in our 2020 year wrap-up special. And to begin, myself, Rory, I'm going to be quizzing Tommy with 4 events that have happened across 2020 in the footballing world. One of which will be a monumental or famous game from the year that Tommy can then choose a team to guess the lineup and say which players were playing or came off the bench in that game. So, Tommy, are you ready to hear the 4 events? How are we feeling? Do you think you got a good memory of what happened across this year? It's been a long year in football. It's been a long season.
So on one side, I think some events are easy to put in order because it's pre-COVID and post-COVID, or pre-lockdown and post-lockdown. But actually, then it becomes tricky when it concerns like the tournaments that were restarted during the summer. So I'm feeling pretty confident pre-COVID. After COVID, I feel like there is 3 months full of footballing events, but we shall see. I'm ready for your questions.
Okay, so listeners, get a pen and paper as always, and in no particular order. 4 events are Bayern Munich embarrassing Barcelona 8-2 in the Champions League. I think we all remember that game, right?
Yeah, I do.
Good. The second event is Jose Mourinho opens his Instagram account. Now, this is something that has provided us with quite a lot of entertainment since we started the pod, right?
I do really enjoy following his account. It's a good one, and if you haven't yet, listeners, please do. Rory, an Arsenal fan, is telling you to.
Yeah, there's big, dad vibes from the account, and the captions are always hilarious. I've got a lot of time for it. So, we have Bayern Munich beating Barcelona 8-2, Jose Mourinho starting his Instagram account, final game in the Premier League in front of a crowd. So the last game where people were allowed into the stadium under the old circumstances.
All right.
And the final event is Liverpool sealing their title win. So the game that confirmed that they were champions. So not when they lifted the trophy, but the game that confirmed their title win.
So I will start from the most vivid memory that I have. Bayern Munich winning 8-2 to Barcelona. That was at the beginning of August. Sometime at the beginning of August. So about that, I'm pretty sure. Jose Mourinho opening his Instagram account, a glorious moment for all Instagram users. I think that must have been around the beginning of the new season. So September, I'm going to say. So August for Barcelona and Bayern. September for Jose Mourinho. Then, of course, the last crowd to be allowed in the UK. I remember kind of a scandal, the Liverpool Atletico game being played. And that caused a lot of controversy. I think that was the last game that was played in England with supporters. And after that, even the Premier League decided not to play. And then the 4th event, what was it?
Liverpool sealing their title win.
That must have been, you see, that's where it gets confusing, but I think it must have been like May, June, July. I'm going to say, in order, the last crowd allowed in the UK.
Okay, so this is from oldest to most recent.
Yeah, right? From oldest to most recent. Okay. Last crowd allowed in the UK. Then Liverpool sealing their title win. Bayern Munich embarrassing Barcelona 8-2, and finally Jose Mourinho opening his Instagram account. 3 out of 4.
On February the 9th, Jose Mourinho posted his first thing to Instagram.
What?
Which was his lovely little brand, setting the brand logo.
Oh, damn.
Then, on March the 9th, Leicester City played Aston Villa, and that was the final game in the Premier League to be. So your timing was right. The 11th, only 2 days later, was the last game in England, but this was the last Premier League game. Then, on June the 25th, Liverpool are confirmed title winners with a 5-3 win over Chelsea. And finally, Barcelona lose 8-2 to Bayern Munich on August the 14th. So, Tommy, I don't think you got...
I got 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4?
Mourinho, I arrived late then. I arrived when I have to stroll all the way back now. Stroll all the way down and check the latest posts. But wait, it's a comeback from Mourinho because he used to have Instagram when he was coaching Man U. And then after he got fired, he removed his Instagram account. All right, so now I got a chance to guess the lineup of one of those games.
You can either choose now. I think I know which one you're going to choose. Would you rather choose Leicester City versus Aston Villa, or would you choose Bayern Munich against Barcelona?
I'm going to go for Bayern Munich against
You
Barcelona.
You surprise me.
And I'm actually going to pick Bayern Munich.
Okay, right. Let's go. Remember, you get 3 wrong and you're out.
All right. So I'm going to start in goal, Manuel Neuer.
1.
In defense, center back, it's going to be Niklas Süle.
Nope.
Oh God! All right. Then I'm gonna move. Oh, David Alaba.
Okay, 2.
2. Then we've got Alphonso Davies,
3.
who was playing on the left flank. Then we've got Joshua Kimmich.
4.
Right. Leon Goretzka.
5.
Then we've got Thomas Müller.
6.
Robert Lewandowski.
7.
He came on for sure because he scored a brace. Philippe Coutinho.
8.
I'm doing well. Then we've got Jerome Boateng, maybe.
9.
9. Who am I missing? Somebody. Thiago Alcantara.
10.
Yes, baby. And then, who am I missing? I'm missing a big one. Look at me. Is it a big one? Is it a big name? Kind of. Oh, Kingsley Coman.
No, that's 2 wrong.
Oh, all right. And I'm really trying to think. Alaba, Davies, Leon Goretzka.
Oh, no, wait, sorry. No, Coman, yeah, 11.
Coman, good.
Yeah.
All right, that's the maximum score I can get. 11 points.
Okay, good. So let's go through the starting lineup. That was good work, Tommy.
Yeah.
13 in total. So the starting lineup was Neuer, Kimmich, Jerome Boateng, David Alaba, Alphonso Davies, Thiago, Goretzka, Gnabry, Thomas Muller,
there you go.
Ivan Perisic, Lewandowski, and Nicolas Süle. Oh, wait, he did come on.
Come on, right, I understand
He
that
did
it's
come
more.
on. So you got 13 in total. Süle, Coutinho, Lucas Hernandez, Tolisso, and Kingsley Coman came off the bench.
So how many points do I score?
We got 14 in total.
14 total. That's pretty good.
That is very good. That's
All right.
Very good.
All right. I'm excited to test you later, but first we are gonna have our quick Premier League roundup. How many games have been played since the beginning of Christmas break?
Oh, I don't know, but I know that there's a game tonight, and then we start again tomorrow.
Yeah, I was checking. From December 24th to January 4th, there is only one day, December 31st, with no Premier League games.
It is glorious. I love this time of the year. I think as much as some leagues might benefit from a winter break, I would be absolutely devastated if they brought it in England, because the only thing that makes this time, Christmas, New Year, even better is the fact that there's lots and lots of football to watch with all this free time. So yeah, bring it on.
This is our special Euro review, more like a British review, right? So while in Italy, for me, as much as I love football, and I don't know, I also have other passions, and when winter break comes, it's also a moment, to take a break from football, and then you remember that in England, actually, they're playing every single day. What a cultural difference.
Yeah, we don't really have space for any other obsessions, or I don't have any space for any other obsessions, and Christmas is the time when we cram in as much football as we possibly can. It means it's great for teams that are in form, because the games are thick and fast, no time to think about it, just roll into those wins, but makes it an even tougher time of the year if you are in bad form, because the games never end, you don't have much time to recover, much time to plan for your opposition, and it makes for usually kind of unpredictable and surprise results. You see big changes in the table over a very compact amount of time. Within 3 weeks, all of a sudden, the table is completely different because you've played about 5 games. So I think it's always an exciting time of the year.
I think that's the reason why I kind of want to say this before we break down actually the games. I mean, we're giving a lot of stick to Arsenal because they're looking pretty poor, even though not in the last 2
Not
games.
Anymore, mate.
Not anymore. It's all
the
over.
problems are solved.
It's all over. No, but the thing is, we gave Arsenal the stick for sitting at 13th position. But let's not forget that 1 month ago we were laughing our ass off about Manchester United, and right now all of a sudden they're title contenders. So I think that shows how the Premier League changes quickly at all times. You don't even have the time to start giggling about someone that then they make 3 wins in a row and they're sitting top of the table.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the great things about the league, but also it's even more so this year because of it's an exceptional season.